Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Great Awakening podcast. I'm your host, Giselle Brun, and today's very special guest is my friend and colleague, Alex Vitillo. And she is a matchmaker, awareness coach. She's a quantum results coach, a theta healer, and a shaman. And she is also the owner of Breathing Heart. So, welcome. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, Giselle. So excited to be here with you today to create some magic.
Absolutely. That's your middle name, I'm told. Would you kindly tell us a little bit about you and how you came to do what you do now?
Thank you. Thank you. So I could say what I'm really passionate at the moment is to start discussions with visionaries like yourself, everybody watching this channel, about how do we play in the quantum field? How do we show up in the quantum field? And I got to this point after a life of very traditional background, economics, Italian family, Catholic. So everything very structured and everything, being employed in the corporate world. You go to work, you come back home, you do your thing, married to kids. And so there was no magic, at least not apparent in my life at that point. And I never heard the word healing or healer, being Italian. Even when I learned English, healer was never in my in my field. And so if you said to me 10 years ago, you're going to be a healer, a shaman, I say, what's a shaman? That's a healer? What? But fast forward, so from 10 years ago to now, in between, maybe like a lot of people that have a so-called traditional life, very practical life, a non-magical life, something happened. Something that threw me completely off piste. I'm going to say it. I lost my husband to cancer. My kids were 6 and 4. And that for me was a tragedy because maybe coming from a traditional background, I was independent. I studied a lot and I had good jobs. But I always regarded men, and before my husband, he was my boyfriend, as the rock in my life. So the men were that being that was more intelligent, smartest, and knew how to do things better than you. They had all the answers. And so to go from little me looking at this man being the all and all in my life to, oh, that person is not here. Oh, I got 2 young children. Oh, my family is in Italy. It was devastating to say the least, but very unsettling from a human perspective. How do I function? How do I function as a mother? How do I function as, gathering energy, gathering resources, and so it was really a big shift in my life. And from there, I took a pause just to reflect and decide. I knew I couldn't keep on being employed in the financial world because with 2 young children and you being alone, you can't be away from home for so many long hours, sometimes traveling. And so I thought, okay, being employed is not really going to be feasible for me anymore. What can I do? And when you start to ask the questions, what can I do? I always had faith in something. And then I got, I was shown a little trail that started easy, started with meditation. To me, that was already something like, whoa, meditation, never done that before. It saved my life, I have to say, it saved my life. And so I decided I'm going to teach meditation, help others that maybe feel overwhelmed and feel confused and feel all of those things. And from there, the energy healing started to appear. And from there, other things came. And there was one thing I can say for me, I always believed in jumping in full on without necessarily analyzing, thinking too much about it. I always had a strong navigational system, I always trusted my intuition, whatever you want to call it. But even if I want to go and see a movie, some people are going to read 100 reviews. Is the movie good? Is the movie not good? I don't want to know the reviews. I want to go to the movie, experience the movie, and make up my mind. And I'm not going to write a review either afterwards,
Exactly.
typically. So I jumped in, and one thing leads to the other, one thing leads to the other, and that's how I became a healer, a shaman, a coach, and many things in between.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. Where does the magic come in for you, Alex? How did that um, manifest for you, if you will, so that you can help others create magic in their lives?
Yes, that's also was a little bit of when you get to a certain, let's talk frequency world,
Mhm.
things that are in that frequency realms appear to you. So I got confronted to the world of the witches, the goddesses, and now I say I'm part-time witch, part-time goddess, and part-time unicorn, most likely, right? Because it's really a combination of all those things. And I think it was through, again, following intuition, following some teachers that came in front of me, and I decided, yes, I'm going to follow the trail. But magic to me, it really is the power of manifesting. So it's another world to making a reality, things that seem you cannot see, you cannot feel, you cannot smell. That's the world of magic, which is huge, right? There is a lot
Mhm.
more to what you don't see, taste, or feel, smell, that what we see with our eyes, what we touch, and that fascinates me. That really
Mhm.
fascinates me. How do we tap into that field, and how do we ultimately have more of our desires manifested? And this is opening a whole new topic. As in, yesterday I was with some people, and some people were saying, one person in particular was saying, I'm fine. I'm fine, whatever happens. I don't have any desires anymore. I know I'm good. I know I'm part of the oneness.
Oh.
I know what people say or do doesn't, you know.
Mhm.
I said, oh, wow, that's enlightenment to me. But I came
Mhm.
into this life as a human being. I want to have desires. When I have one that it's manifested, already I have another desire that comes up.
Yes.
And so the magic is, how do I make that desires manifest quicker and quicker and quicker in a way that
Mhm.
pleases me, and in a way that I can do good for others. That desire,
Yes.
you can look at many different things, but ultimately is, how do I create a better place for this world and my world,
Yes.
the path of least resistance, again, through not going death, near death experience,
Mhm.
physical, whatever happens
Yes.
may happen. So how do we as human tap into that magic
Yes.
so that we can evolve? I want to say evolve and
Mhm.
create a better future for ourselves, a better present without the suffering. That's the true magic for me.
What would you recommend others try to that are really not cognizant about what manifesting the abundance in their life really is about and how it really works? How would you um, how would you suggest that the people that are not cognizant of this go about doing so for themselves if they're kind of feeling stagnant in their abundance at the moment?
So I practically, I would say, first of all, be okay with your desire. So be okay to say, what are my beliefs about money? What do I think? Is it going to make me a bad person? Is it going to make me be greedy? Is it going to make me feel, my friends are jealous of me, my friends are envious? And
Mhm.
so, first of all, to give yourself permission to say, I have a desire about money, and to
Mhm.
be clear on that amount as well. So don't be shy in bringing some numbers together. So practically, you got to
Mhm.
befriend the numbers. You have
Right.
to start to look at the world in a number game to make it easier on yourself. So even if you're not too much into spirituality, manifestation per se, but just to say, okay, what are the numbers in my life? What is important to me? That salary, or that if you got your own business, that many amount of clients, that many hours of work, that many networking events, very practical with the numbers, and
Mm-hmm.
start to see, what's popping up for me. Because at least in my experience, the one way to fast track, and this is for every area of your life, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
your health, your wealth, your loving relationship, you want to be doing it with a mentor, a coach, a healer. And
Mm-hmm.
this works all the time. Whether you choose a mentor and you buy a book from them, or if you want to go to one of their webinars or one of their courses, or
Mm-hmm.
working one to one.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to admit to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm here because there's certain pieces that are missing, and we all have missing pieces. That's the beauty of being human and gathering together and doing things together.
Absolutely.
So when you identify that person or many
Mm-hmm.
persons that are going to help you, go for it. Same
Mm-hmm.
if you want to lose weight, you go and see a nutritionist, you go and see a personal trainer. Chances
Mm-hmm.
are you link up with a group that wants to lose weight. The
Yes.
same for manifesting wealth. Who is going to help you to manifest that wealth? And there's nothing shameful in saying, hey, I want to work with somebody to manifest that wealth, which is
Mm-hmm.
in England very frowned upon. You don't talk about money, you don't express you want to make money, and
Oh.
certainly you don't say you're going to hire a money coach or somebody that's going to help you work on your wealth. I think in America it's a lot more acceptable. People
Mm-hmm.
say it, people do it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but Americans have always been known as well to look after themselves, go to therapists, psychologists. In Europe,
Yes.
we're way, way, way behind with that. We don't say it, we have to do everything ourselves. And that doesn't work that way.
That's for sure. Well, thanks for that advice. I mean, I'm sure that people will identify with some of what you said for sure. And so, can you tell us what your services are and yeah, and how I will post in the description below all of your links where people can reach out and connect to you should they resonate to your work. So without further ado, what are your services that you provide everyone with, Alex?
Well, my services, you can call it mentoring, healing, and coaching. And it's either a one-to-one journey. This is where very effective for people, i.e., you come to me and you're gonna come to me with what you want to manifest, what you want in your life, what you want, and practically related to your business, your level of wealth, abundance. And then from there, the like I said, the best thing is to start to looking into your reality, your field, what it's in there. And people say, oh, let's work on mindset, or I can do some affirmations. And the thing about working with a healer, a coach, a mentor that is psychic, that you go a level, many levels, sometimes deeper than the mindset.
Yes.
So, I did an exercise with a client of mine recently that is fairly typical coaching exercise. And I
Yeah.
said to this person, have you done this exercise? And this client said, yes, I have. I said, well, you never done it with me. Let's go. And so it was very practical. We were looking at numbers. But the
Mhm.
thing about doing with somebody that is psychic, I can feel when you tell me
Mm.
your numbers, when you tell me your desire, I can feel what's in your field. I can feel, like we were talking about money, but there was
Mhm.
something about relations that was really
Mm.
beating in her heart. So we had to first identify that,
Mhm.
clear it, and then do something with that. So a traditional business coach, a mindset coach can go through the exercise, but they're not going to be able to tap in what's really, if you're talking about money,
Mhm.
you're not necessarily thinking about a relationship that happened 5 years ago.
Right.
And even the client doesn't know that that's related to it, right? And
Mhm.
so, and then even when you know it, you need to be able to facilitate the healing. So there's a lot of components that go into the work when we do one to one. And then, of course, I said, So was it different this time, compared to the first time when you did it with a traditional coach? And client said, yes, 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 it's amazing. You're a witch.
There you
And,
go.
how could you know that this was in? I never thought about that because it's not something you think about it. It's something that sits in your field and
Yes.
it's playing in your reality.
Yeah.
Um, so, if it's somebody, I say many people come to me because they have a 9 to 5 job and they feel, that's not satisfied enough, but I have this great will, this great skill. I'm a healer, I'm a coach myself, I want to help others. Then come and talk to me because I can really support you in making that transition and then to grow your business, but always with a heart centered focus, always with your well-being in, as a center of whatever it is that you want to
Yeah.
bring, and also to help you elevate and become that leader. Because I feel it's time for new leaders in the world. It's time for light leaders to really show up and step up. And the thing about light leaders, sometimes they're missing, me included, that confidence piece, that
Yeah.
courage piece, because we're
Mm-hmm.
different
Yeah.
and there are a minority of light leaders. So we feel, people are not going to resonate. And it's true, they're not going to resonate. And this is why if we link arms together and we support each other, then, we create
Mm-hmm.
a lot bigger ripple effects. So if we stay in our own corner thinking, oh, I don't have what it gets. So
Very true. That's very true. It's time for us to all gather together. And, you know, we're all little parts of the tapestry of our creator. So if we bring ourselves together and all our skills together, then we can help the whole heal and help our mother Gaia as well.
yes,
Um, you know,
yes.
um, I want to ask you one question. We're in a really, really amazing time, but we're also in challenging times, depending on how we vibrate and how we look at life. And because the Great Awakening is upon us, so to speak, I want to ask you what your Great Awakening impact is, and how you would suggest others navigate it going forward.
Very interesting question. I was reflecting again with a group of thought leaders on this yesterday. For me, the Great Awakening is going to be to finally realize and decide that we can evolve without the suffering. So
Mhm.
until now, like it happened to me, I had to lose my husband, be on my hands and knees, to awaken to the next level and to become a healer, which makes a much bigger transformation than what I used to do before. If I had the mentor maybe 10 years ago that said, I think you really are good at, leading from the heart and you are different and you can bring betterment to the world, I would have evolved in a different way. And so I think this great awakening is coming through a purge, literally, of
Mhm.
things falling apart. There has been a lot of light leaders that have been feeling sick, that have been feeling really low energetically. So I think there's been a
Mhm.
lot of, pass me the terms, attacks from the darkness. And
Yes.
we all again felt the shock, and
Mhm.
we have to process and cleanse and clear to be participating in, staying and moving upwards, if you want to call it moving upwards, or moving to this new reality.
Yeah.
But there is a choice that needs to be made, and for people to
Mhm.
navigate it again, link arms with people that think like you, feel the same things as you, that have your same belief. You don't have to agree on everything, but you want to have a vision of the world that is,
Mhm.
in alignment with what you truly believe, what you truly feel, what your heart is, and
Mhm.
through allowing your heart to come into play more and more and more, together with the mind and together with the quantum field. And so educate yourself as well. I would say it's a very good way to start. What is the quantum field? How do we
Mhm.
move? What does vibration organizes moves? How do we manifest things into this world? How do we keep ourselves grounded and focused when everything
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
is throwing us apart? Have rituals that support you, not because you read it in the book, but because you practice it, you have a group doing it with you, it really aligns with you and it supports you because it's just gonna get shakier. This is my belief.
You're resonating with my very core. That's exactly what I think. We're, this is the year of this is it. And we're on a rough ride, but the ride that's beyond it is absolutely stunning. And it's so full of love. We have no idea, but we are getting there. And
Yes, yes.
Thank you for that. It's great advice. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom with us. It's such a pleasure to have you on, Alex. And
Thank you so much, Giselle.
oh, it's just been a sweet journey so far. And I'm glad that you're a part of mine. So thank you for coming on.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you. Lots of love to everybody watching.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.